2 minutes ago, history flipped on its head. The man who once slammed tariffs on Canadian steel, boasted about economic dominance, and promised to make America unbeatable, is now the one begging. Yes, Donald Trump, the former president who sparked a global trade war, has just made a desperate plea for steel from the very country he tried to corner. But Mark Carney, the mastermind of Canada's economic retaliation, didn't blink. He didn't just say no, he shut the door so hard, it echoed across Wall Street, Ottawa, and every American factory still clinging to life. This isn't politics anymore. It's payback. It's power. And it's a game-changing moment that could collapse supply chains, skyrocket prices, and rewrite North America's economic future. If you think this is just another headline, think again. You're about to see why this moment might go down as the day America lost control. Before we break it all down, the desperation, the shutdown, and what it means for you, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell, and smash the like button so you don't miss what comes next. We're digging into the truth no one else is telling, and trust me, this story is just getting started. On June 4, 2025, with a single pen stroke, Donald Trump raised steel tariffs from 25% to a staggering 50%. It took mere seconds. But that signature sent shockwaves through America's economy that would be felt for generations. The goal? To protect American steel jobs from the flood of cheap imports. The result? 500,000 American jobs gone in just days. It was an industrial self-sabotage of historic proportions. Before Americans had even finished their morning coffee, assembly lines in Detroit, Houston, and beyond ground to a halt. Factories that once hummed with life fell eerily silent. According to economic reports, for every steel job protected, up to 75 other manufacturing jobs were lost due to the spike in raw material costs. What was meant to be a shield turned into a wrecking ball for the American economy. Ford and the automotive fallout. Ford, one of America's automotive giants, publicly warned of $2.5 billion in added costs just in 2025. This wasn't just about profits. This was about workers. Families. Whole towns dependent on factory jobs. Michigan, the heart of U.S. manufacturing, saw unemployment spike to 5.4%, the highest in the country. Auto parts suppliers faced bankruptcy, vehicle prices jumped, and suppliers laid off thousands. Dealerships, caught in the middle, had to raise prices or shut down altogether. Consumers paid more for less. And the worst part? There's no clear timeline for recovery. Ford's warning was echoed by GM and Stellantis, who now face tough decisions about layoffs, factory closures, and delaying future EV investments. America's automotive backbone is cracking, and Washington seems to have no answer. Canada's unexpected advantage. Meanwhile, something incredible was unfolding north of the border. As the U.S. crippled its own steel industry, Canada stepped in with precision and power. Rather than pleading with Washington, Canadian producers shifted focus to global markets. The Canadian Steel Producers Association openly stated that U.S. orders had disintegrated. But instead of collapsing, Canada pivoted. It was a masterclass in economic strategy. Canadian foundries ramped up production. New global contracts flowed in. Prime Minister Mark Carney read Trump's move like a chess master, responding with a $1 billion steel modernization blitz by mid-July. Carney eliminated outdated coal furnaces and replaced them with electric arc and hydrogen systems. Powered by Ontario's clean hydro and nuclear grid, Canadian steel became 3 to 4 times cleaner than global competitors, and ready for the European market. Exports to India, Germany, and South Korea surged. Carney even struck bilateral deals that locked in pricing for the next 3 years, shielding Canadian producers from volatility. Canada didn't just survive. It seized the moment. Europe's green gateway and America's missed opportunity. That market, starting January 1, 2026, will penalize steel imports based on their carbon footprint. American steel, still 63% coal-dependent, will face punishing fees. Canadian steel, by contrast, is already environmentally certified. Trump's tariffs didn't just isolate Canada. They propelled it into global dominance. The cost difference is staggering. A single F-Series truck from Ford uses 1 ton of steel. Pre-tariff, that ton cost about $700. Post-tariff, it soared to $900. Multiply that by 1.5 million trucks annually, and you get $1.35 billion in added material costs before a single bolt is tightened. American consumers are now footing the bill. And that's not the end of it. With Europe's Green Gateway in full effect, US steel is being rejected even before it hits the ports. While Canada signs green trade deals and gets subsidies under EU import programs, the US is being boxed out of the very future it helped envision. It's not just a missed opportunity. It's economic self-sabotage. Canadian infrastructure goes all in. And it didn't stop at autos. On July 22, 2025, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Ontario signed a pact banning American steel in all major infrastructure projects. That means every oil pipeline, service road, and rail project in those provinces will exclusively use Canadian steel. American pipe manufacturers, who once supplied 40% of Canada's needs, are now completely locked out. As small energy drillers in Texas and North Dakota faced skyrocketing costs and delays, Canadian contractors celebrated record demand. American crews began cannibalizing stockpiles just to keep operations running. There's no quick fix. Building new domestic pipe factories in the U.S. Pleading at the border, the Great Lakes delegation. Desperation reached a new high on July 21 when a bipartisan group of senators from the Great Lakes region traveled to Ottawa to plead with Carney to ease the so-called metallurgical blockade. Carney didn't flinch. Instead of opening the gates, he discussed new export quotas that would trap even more Canadian steel within their borders for domestic and global use. What we're witnessing isn't just a trade dispute. It's the fundamental restructuring of North America's industrial backbone. Canada now controls the flow of steel, and with it, the fate of entire American industries. Lawmakers returned empty-handed, while American manufacturers drafted emergency memos warning of layoffs, stalled contracts, and supply chain paralysis if Canadian steel remained out of reach through the fourth quarter. The real cost to American families. According to the Tax Foundation, Trump's full tariff arsenal will cost the average American family an extra $1,296 this year. That's nearly a month's worth of groceries. It's a hidden tax no one voted for. Meanwhile, Canadian companies are raking in premium profits in Europe, where carbon credits are projected to hit $89 per ton in 2026. Trump tried to build a wall around American industry. Brussels built a gateway to global markets. And Carney walked right through it. What started as a patriotic effort to protect U.S. jobs has ended in financial devastation for the very people Trump promised to help. Many families are now postponing big purchases, dipping into savings, or turning to credit just to keep up, all while watching their northern neighbors thrive in a booming, modernized trade network. Automakers in chaos. And there's more. Major U.S. automakers are in free fall. Ford has already abandoned its profit forecast. GM and Chrysler are scrambling to restructure their entire supply chains. And all this is happening with the 2026 midterms just around the corner. Investors are panicking. Suppliers are walking away from contracts. And dealership lots are emptier than they've been in a decade. Congress is pointing fingers. But Carney is building factories. Canada is embracing clean energy and modern manufacturing, while the US dithers in political blame games. There's still a narrow window for negotiation. But every day this policy continues, more supply chains reroute permanently around the US, taking jobs and revenue with them. A new industrial superpower emerges. So here we are. Canadian steel mills are operating at full throttle. European markets are embracing cleaner competitors. And American manufacturers are left paying inflated prices for materials they used to get at global rates. Meanwhile, Asian buyers are signing long-term contracts with Canadian suppliers, locking in resources the US may never access again. This isn't just a policy failure. It's a collision between ideology and reality, and everyday Americans are caught in the wreckage. Small-town factories are closing. Construction delays are becoming the norm. The question isn't if this strategy will collapse. It already has. The only question now is how much more damage it will cause before someone pulls the plug and reopens the lines of trade. Your voice matters. So what do you think? Did Trump's tariffs protect American jobs or destroy them? Let us know in the comments, hit that like button if you want a part 2, and don't forget to subscribe. Because this steel crisis is only the beginning.